Playmakers, how's it going? This is Coach Wood, and we are back, you guys, for some more great content for you guys. We just got done with the national championship game, so that's what we're about to talk about. Huge congrats to Indiana, and we'll get into that here shortly. But if you're joining us for the very first time, I am your host, Coach Terrence Wood. You are rocking with the Before You Go Pro channel, and this is the Weekday Huddle, baby. Weekday Huddle is Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and all we're talking about is football. Now, we have an educational spin to our content because it's geared to the young football players out there, the families of football players, you coaches and fans, but this is where we cover it all, you guys. So you're in the place to be. If you're joining us for the very first time, welcome. And please consider hitting that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever we release new content on behalf of Before You Go Pro in the Weekday Huddle. Also, go down to the description box, you guys, because we have some resources. If you haven't been by before, some great resources for you young football players, you families of football players, even some NIL content for you. And we've got something big. We've got something big we're launching on the NIL side because that is a whole world that is open to you young athletes if you know what you're doing. So we want to make sure that you know what you're doing. Go down to the description box. Make sure you check out the resources that we have for you. But I am excited, you guys, to get into this content for this show because I think we'll have some different opinions about how to officially build a championship team. What are the ingredients, you guys, that go into a college football championship in today's times? Because today's times are a lot different than 5 years ago, than 10 years ago, and definitely when I played. And I'm not going to mention how long ago Coach played, but these are different times. How do you build a college football champion? So obviously, Curt Cignetti and the Indiana Hoosiers know how to build a college football champion because they just became the champions of the 2025 season. Huge congrats. This is not a fluke. This is not a fluke. They were in the playoffs last year. I think that gave them some data and some intel on how they needed to move this season, and they came to take it all this season. Undefeated season, coming out of a gauntlet, which is the Big Ten nowadays. Safe to say, especially with Ohio State winning, Michigan winning before, is Big Ten the number one conference? You guys tell me. I know there was a lot of SEC chirping over the last few decades, but now that Nick Saban has said, I'm going to get behind the TV camera, is the SEC still the big dog? It's kind of looking like the Big Ten. But regardless, also the ACC giving props to Miami. They had a great season. That was their third loss, though, and Indiana is unscathed. Everybody that has been put up in front of Indiana has gone down by the wayside, you guys. So Curt Cignetti looking like, and he's from the tree, he's from the Nick Saban tree, looking very much so like the new age Nick Saban. But what we want to get into, you guys, and I definitely want your comments and your feedback on this, is what's the ingredients? As you look at the college football landscape with NIL, where you can go get somebody that's a free agent through the transfer portal, with a lot of older guys on the team, coaches jumping from team to team, what's the ingredients to a college football championship? If somebody gave you the keys to a blue blood program, where would you go first? What would be your first move? What are the ingredients that you would make sure were in the cupboard so that you can make good on the multi-million-dollar contract that you have as a head coach? What are the ingredients to a major college football championship? Now, I think it depends on what level we're talking about. So obviously, in this case, we're talking about the Power Four level, where you're going to the ACC gauntlet. You're going through the Big Ten, the SEC, or the Big 12. You're going through those conferences to get to the big boy spot, the playoffs, and win it all. Do you guys think it takes money? Hand down. Do I need 20 plus million hands down to make it happen? Is it the quarterback? Do I need a multi-million-dollar quarterback? Is it the receiver, the running back, a defense? What are the ingredients? Well, what we can say, looking at what Indiana just accomplished, is there are a few things that stand out. There are definitely a few things that stand out about Indiana. And if you ask me, I think that Curt Cignetti has his formula down. When you go to the playoffs and have a great season, I think they only lost 1 or 2 games last year, and then you come back this season and you don't lose any game, that's telling me that you got somebody that is very, very confident and very precise with his formula. He knows exactly the makeup and the culture of their team that he wants to create, and he knows the players he needs and the coaches he needs to get it done. When you look at Indiana, there's a few things that stand out, and this may be the model. Now, here's the interesting thing. Out of the Power Four teams that made it to the playoffs this year, Indiana had the smallest budget. Indiana had the smallest, but so they made the most. Nobody beat them this year. They made the most out of the smallest budget. That's going to make some alums, some scholarship donors, and some ADs scratch their head a little bit, because they've proven this isn't a fluke, and they're also proving that you don't need necessarily the biggest budget. So that's going to have some alums, some donors, and some ADs scratching their head a little bit. But you need a little money. You need a little money. And where should that money go? When I look at Indiana, they are definitely a physical team. They have definitely, obviously, they've got the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, so they've invested in their quarterback. They're a team that has gotten extremely lucky this year with no major catastrophic injuries like we've seen with some of these other teams. High level attention to detail and coaching. High level attention to detail and coaching. Last but not least, you guys, they are tough as nails. Nobody has played Indiana this year that was tougher. So no 5-star. I didn't say you needed a 5-star. I didn't say you needed a 4-star even, because they don't have any. But you better have a darn good quarterback. So if I'm a college football coach, I am definitely investing in my quarterback. And if you're talking about Coach Wood, I'm investing in two. Two highly paid quarterbacks will be on my team. You got to have some coaches that have a the team that you just watched win the national championship, Indiana, they're tough because their coach is tough. They're tough. So if you guys are college football fans and you keep asking yourself after every Saturday or whenever your team plays, because these college kids play on every day of the week nowadays, whenever your team plays, if you leave the stadium or you cut off that TV or your streaming app and you say my team is soft, then you need to look at the coach. If you find yourself saying that week after week, you need to look at the coach. Indiana's tough as nails, and I would guess Curt Cignetti has something to do with that. So I got a quarterback off the top. Give me two. I got a tough-ass team that's physical. I've got the luck on my side, and the stars are aligned with my team because we got lucky in the injury phase. And then I've got some coaches. I don't need the highest budget. I need some real football players that want to go beat some people up, and some coaches that put them in the right position. And then give me a quarterback, give me a point guard, give me two that can get it to them, get it to my playmakers. But Indiana's got a bunch of lunch pail kids, man. They got a bunch of lunch pail kids and that want to come hit you in the mouth. And I would guess that that's what Cignetti's going to be recruiting moving forward. A bunch of lunch pail kids that want to hit you in the mouth. He's not looking for the 5 or the 4-star that wants a bunch of money that hasn't produced nothing yet. And I also think that this is his angle because I've been watching how he moves in the portal, that he's looking at the guys that they play against. He's looking at other guys in the Big Ten that impressed him. Or probably guys that he was recruiting since high school, and for whatever reason, he didn't get them on the first go-round. But he is not worried about chasing other people's 5 and 4 stars. Or chasing other people's 5 and 4 stars that decided to ditch their first school. He does not even want those guys. So it is very interesting in this day and age how some of these college football teams, these coaches, these GMs are choosing to build their programs. But Indiana is the model that everybody's going to be looking at this offseason. So you guys tell me, what are the ingredients to having a college football championship ready team? If you're going into the off season and somebody gave you the keys to the University of Texas, gave you the keys to Michigan, what are the ingredients? What you going shopping for, baby? To cook up a championship. So that is it for this episode of the Weekday Huddle, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Once again, huge congrats to Indiana. I think they're going to be around for a while. And then also huge congrats to Miami. They're going to be around for a while too. But this was a great football season. That was a great conclusion. And the Hoosiers and national championships, undoubted. So congrats to you guys out there at Bloomington, Indiana. If you haven't already, please consider hitting the subscribe button so that you guys know when we come back for the next Weekday Huddle. And then also, you guys, make sure that you go down in the description box and check out those resources we have for you. I'm Coach Wood. Have a great day. I'll see you at the top, baby.